table, and you just line up right here to select your computer. And if you need help taking it to your car, we have runners who can take it to your car for you, okay?
It's a great program. This is the first time I've heard about it, so I just think that it's a nice program, especially for underprivileged kids to, have the opportunity to have a computer.
Most of the warehouses in Oakland's industrial waterfront district are shut on Saturdays, but this one is buzzing with activity. More than 100 Oakland Unified School District high school students and their families have come today to pick up computer systems from OTX West, a project of the Marcus Foster Educational Institute, a local nonprofit organization that refurbishes donated computers and places them in homes and schools.
Heard about OTX through the district and heard that we could get free computers for the students because we have a very small number of computers at our school, even in our classroom. So this is just the beginning of the more free computers that we're going to get, and it's wonderful because we're a small school, we don't have a huge amount of resources to work with, so our kids are going to have more access to computers, and we're going to be able to expand our lab for next year so we can bring a whole class in here instead of like a small group of students.
A computer should have the same lifespan as an appliance, 10 years, not 2 years. These computers are perfectly good, and by doing this, we also keep them out of landfill.
While, according to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, 250 million computers will be declared obsolete by 2005 and become part of the 3.2 million tons of electronic waste laid to rest in U.S. landfills each year. Vast numbers of people across the nation are without access to technology. The latest statistics from the U.S. Department of Commerce show that almost half of U.S. households do not own a home computer.
Equity of access is really important to young people these days in the current economic environment and the way the world is. When I retired from IBM and started volunteering in an Oakland school, I really saw a difference between those students that had access to technology and those that didn't in terms of having the tools to do well in school.
IBM Systems veteran Bruce Buckaloo founded OTX West in 1995. From its humble beginnings, the project now processes and distributes more than 3,000 computers annually to homes, schools, and labs throughout the community.
And because of that, some kids, in the Oakland Unified School District who will not have access to technology, have access to technologies today. We just have to keep working and promoting OTX works and encouraging them to keep doing the good work they're doing.
Community reuse programs must constantly think about priorities. Every decision, from deciding what kinds of computers to accept from donors, figuring out what software to load onto the systems, to managing a volunteer workforce and forging partnerships must be carefully considered.
My main objective is to create systems that are as generic as possible. The schools and students OTX West serves need good basic computers.
With the needs of his customers in mind, Buckaloo sets off to pick up a batch of donated computers. Getting high-quality equipment for free is key. Developing relationships with the business community is important to any reuse program.
The equipment's obsolete for PeopleSoft's use. We know it's still beneficial out in the communities. We donate to the Oakland Technology Group so that they can implement it in the schools and enhance the kids' futures.
One thing we talked about also in the guide was it's important to turn down equipment that you can't use, because even if you have a large space to store things, it fills up very quickly if you're taking in equipment that that you can't use in a fairly short amount of time. Even though we're taking a lot of monitors today, usually I don't take monitors, especially small ones, 14s and 15s, unless they come with computers.
Reuse programs should set out specific equipment guidelines for potential donors. Modems are different.
We don't reuse modems. We find that they're so varying that it's much more economical for us to buy new $10 Intel chipset, which are hardware, not Win modems. We buy these by the 100. Thanks again, guys.
Take care.
There are a number of ways of getting computers. We actually started with some small articles in the paper. We didn't pay for the ads, but a small article got us 20 phone calls, and that got us going. Make sure you have a website people can search for. Often it only takes one good organization to get you started.
Storage space and organization are crucial to the success of OTX's program. With so many computer parts coming in and out of the building, it is important for items to be separated, labeled clearly, and stored carefully so that the production team knows what parts need to be tested, cleaned, and what parts are ready for distribution. Miguel, OTX West's production manager, shows us how they separate just some of their materials.
This is where we put the monitors that we shoot are working, and they're clean, and they're ready for distribution. This is basically the storage for all CPUs we have. This is where we basically test all the network stuff.
And for the computer parts that cannot be used, Marcus Foster's reuse program uses a recycling center.
This is a warehouse that belongs to Cura Incorporated, and what we do here, we get all computer donations. We get them, we bring them here, and we sub them. Some go for scrap metal, some plastic goes for plastic, and it's like a recycling center. With Angelito, he's the one that helps us out here and tells us what to do.
Okay, my name is Angelito, and I'm the warehouse manager here for Cura Incorporated.
For the past 4 years, Angelito has taken surplus equipment from businesses and organizations like OTX and recycles the parts.
What we do is we keep this equipment out of landfills. You know, like the board, the motherboard, the processor, the power supply is all hazardous waste that doesn't decompose. So it just stays in landfills and it stays in the ground. So by selling it to another recycler who'll take all those chips off, then they crush the boards and make new boards out of them. So it just kind of repeats itself as a recycling situation.
Space and computers aren't the only things that computer reuse projects should try to get for free. Marcus Foster's reuse program collaborates with a computer training program so that students can earn credits by volunteering to fix computers.
It's more for our benefit, really, because we need to learn and have hands-on technology on this.
I went through Urban Voice, talked to the instructor, and he said that they would have volunteer courses at OTX. I am upgrading the computer, putting a new CD-ROM in there.
I had absolutely no experience with computers. I mean, outside of Microsoft Office, knowing how to write my stories. I wanted to get some new skills and also step outside of my box a little bit because this is totally out of my, well, it was, out of my realm.
The computers are PCs loaded with the Microsoft Windows 98 operating system. The software, most of which is freely available on the internet, includes an Office package, a typing tutor, antivirus software, and a graphics program. Internet software is also included.